Hi, hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Yes.
Good morning,
Any
Sridhar.
queries before we start? Yeah. So any queries before we start today? Okay, fine then. So the only leftover topic is fact sheets actually. Surprisingly, we did not do anything, but it is appearing now. The data is appearing. Let's see. I did not do any config changes. Whatever we have done in the last class is only the same thing. I did not touch anything else. But suddenly when I was trying to see whether data is appearing or if I want to do, it is appearing now. Let's go back there to screen. So this is a different ID I logged in with. It's a test underscore SO. This was old test ID. Again, we will see with our own test ID because I don't want to lose the screen. If again the screen is gone, it will be difficult for us to check it. So test underscore SO, it has full access of all the fact sheets. And now we go to search. And here, this is the way you should get. By default, you should be getting all, and then you get a drop down here. And when you see the drop down, the first two things are default. All and apps are default one. And then the remaining things, whatever you see, the list here, like activity type, banks, material BOM, billing documents, all these are coming from authorization object. What is authorization object? Anyone? This drop down list is coming from which authorization object? Anyone?
ESH colon S underscore ESH cat and colon.
Yeah, right. Con especially. So if you search the role or okay, if I want to see the data, what is assigned to this user, test underscore SO. Sorry. Have to go back to SUIM. Now coming to roles by complex selection criteria assigned to user with valid assignment of test underscore SO, and then the authorization object is S underscore ESH underscore con. Okay, execute. Okay, the first three are standard ones. I'll go to this one, sales order fact sheet related data, role. Yep. So here, if you see the value is only S underscore ESH underscore con. Okay. But why we are getting the complete list here. So means it is not coming from this role. It should be coming from some other role. So in this role, it is restricted to sales order only. Maybe from ESH search user. Yep, here you can see. The template name is full access. Okay. And that is the reason we are getting the complete list there. So later I will show you, we will remove this role and we will see or we will restrict these values here, and then we will see the drop down again. So but just I wanted to show you the fact sheet, how it looks like. Okay. I'm going to the drop down here. And then we randomly select any one value, like let us say cost center. Or better to go with sales order, because sales order related fact sheet, right? You may not get data correctly. Sales orders. So this is my fact sheet name, what we assign to this. And then if you know any value, you can put a value like a filtering value, you can sort of thing, right? Suppose if I have a plant called IN01, you can put a plant. Or if I want to see the year 2020 related stuff, something like this, I can put like this. Okay. But I don't know, when I don't know any information, I can put star, or if you don't even put also star and then click on search. So what system will do now, it will try to fetch all the records which are sales orders in your system now. It is trying to fetch the data of all the sales records. Right, we got the result. What is the data we have? Around 306 records are there. These are the total results, all the sales orders information. And here, if you think about some information, for example, let me open one of them. I open this sales order 2, standard order 2. Okay, there is some component is missing. So for some sales orders, we are not getting data, not one from for some fact sheets. The reason is the user might not have the backend transaction access. So that's why the data itself is not visible to him. Okay, here I'm facing a chef. We'll see the different one. Meanwhile, here, once you see the data like this, each and every line item is a record. If you want to enter into that record, you have to click on that particular record and then it opens up. So we will see the data and we will troubleshoot here. App could not be opened because SAP UI5 component of the application could not be loaded. So view details. So it should something related to UI5 component. Sales order, display fact sheet. Okay, so meanwhile, what we'll do, we'll go back in system and check it, the authorization. Other user, test underscore SO. Let us also parallelly check that IWFNG error log. Okay, here we are not getting any error in the screen. Quality notifications. Profit center. We will log in with our ID now. There are a lot of values to be checked. Instead, we'll concentrate on our ID. Test underscore SG test. This was our data. Now fact sheets. Okay, good enough. Okay, we are also able to see all values. The reason is we are assigned with SAP all, I guess. Last time, let me remove that access. Okay, let me try first. Then we will remove. So just I'll try to remove the access. So we should see only one drop down. But before that, you have to check if it is coming from somewhere else. So it is coming from two roles. This ESH user, I will remove this role to the user. So you see now why we got only three values: material, material documents, and sales orders. That is because the role which we assign to the user has only these three values under ESH con. So Launchpad, it has no access, but in warehouse management tile access, we have the drop in that three values are maintained. Authorization. Yeah. So these are the three names: material document, material, and sales order. Okay. All of you clear with this first thing? Now I go to materials. I click on search. Okay, here why we are not getting data? Maybe because materials means the transaction code is MM03 for just having a display of materials. We may need to add the T code. So let us see if I get any data in the backend. That is what I'm expecting because the user does not have the T code access. S underscore T code. These are the T codes given. VA03 sales order is there. So what I will do, we'll just add the T code related to materials. Display material. So I'll give full access. Our plant is already restricted for tourism. Let me make plant 0 as of star here. Again, I'm going to materials. Click on search. So let me add this object, HDDL view. It is something related to ESH search SRV. Okay, so now we can see materials. So in this way, one by one, we should troubleshoot. Basically, we are concentrating on one particular value and we are trying to, earlier we are not able to see when we are searching with star, but now we are able to see the data. So because of that value we are adding. Okay. Now let us click on one material. I am not able to click on the material now. So this is another issue. It is bringing some other values here. Sales orders. So it is allowing me like this. So when you click on this drop down show details, it is showing you the details of this particular material. And then you have different options here within that. Display stock in transit, stock single material, display stock overview, display warehouse stock. So means these are all the functions you can do within this on this material. So single stock, single material, I click on it. So that particular record will get one. Stock single material related to that material, which plans and all those stuff. Again, we can do different activities here. Material document overview, manage stock. So basically here, it is basically, fact sheet is a search mechanism. I can search by different values. For example, this is the complete materials I have listed. 228 materials are there. Here I have filter mechanism. So when I click on show filters, you can see what are the standard filters given by SAP. You can filter the data based on purchasing group, material type, plant, sales organization, material group. So these are the show more filters, all filters. So these are the total filters on which you can restrict access. Restrict means what? Just to filter apply condition. So I'll close this. So for example, now I select this one. Sales organization IN08 sales org. I select this. The system will show me only those values related to IN sales organization. So this is simpler actually. Rather than going from T code or transactional app, you come here, you put materials, you put star, and then you can filter by depending filters, and then you can minimize the number of entries, and you can choose the related entry of that, and in that you can see the details of that particular material number. Okay, so understood something about the fact sheets now? So whatever the search mechanism is also there. Now, for example, I go to this plant or sales organization IN08. There are 9 materials now. This I can save as a tile again. Means every time I need not come to here, materials, drop down, put star, then apply filter. This entire setup I can apply as a tile. So you have this one on the top, share, and then save as tile. So you can give a name like search in star materials. Subtitle is IN08 sales org materials. So every time you need not come to this fact sheet. If you save like this, under my home I'm saving. If you belong to this sales organization, IN08 India sales organization. So whenever you come next time to your launchpad, under my home, you can see this icon, search star in materials, and then here it is IN sales org materials. And then when I click on this one, it will directly open up that particular fact sheet page where you have already stored the details. So this would be easier for users actually. Every time when they come to Launchpad, exactly to go to the data where they are related to. Okay. So any queries as of now?
Sridhar, is there any way we can identify, which app is transactional, which app is fact sheet?
What do you mean by which app? Like for example, now, let me go to home page. Now tell me. Yeah, tell me your question now.
My question is there any way we can identify that, this app is fact sheet app, this app is transactional app? Just by looking at the app, is there any way? Because
Now,
I'm sure, to identify, because, if someone comes up with a query saying that, I'm not able to access this fact sheet. Okay. I'm not able to access this transactional app. So there must be some difference the way I need to identify or investigate.
See, basically, if they are going to drop down here, that is the fact sheet.
Okay.
So when user says fact sheet, this is what you have to ask him. Share the user screen and show him, ask this to show these details, what he is able to see or what error he is facing. If it is transactional, he will never go to search mechanism here.
Okay. Okay.
He will directly go to particular group, and then in the group he will click on the tile. Then he says, "This is what I want access. It is not opening. This tile is not opening."
Okay.
That's it.
And how about the analytical?
So fact sheet is not a tile. Analytical is also a tile, right?
Right.
So see, user will not have a difference at all. First of all, he's not aware that it is a transactional, it is like a fact sheet, or it is like a analytical. He says, I'm not able to see this particular one, material inventory values. Suppose he says. So you should ask him, is it you are talking about a tile, or are you talking about a under the search drop down here? So that
Okay.
he will be able to say to you. So based on that, if he says this drop down, it is a fact sheet, or if he says tile, it could be mostly transactional. 90% would be transactional. Very 10% of chances would be analytical. And I told you analytical will be used only for key performance indicators. That is not given to all users. Only for
Okay.
higher management we give it.
Okay.
So mostly transactional.
Okay, Sridhar.
Right.
Here, on this tile, we can see search icon in the search.
On the tile.
On the tile, we can see
Where
this
exactly?
icon.
This one. Yeah.
So can we think as this is a fact sheet because we are using search mechanism to see the fact sheet? Yeah,
Yeah, there is also an indication because see, when you click on this page itself, this is what you get. On the top, you can see the drop down is coming, the star is coming, the filters are coming. So you can easily recognize by looking into the sheet here. But when you click on any other tile, for example, I go to this one, display price changes. I don't get the search mechanism, drop downs, everything here in the screen. It's pointed to see here. I don't have search. I have search, but it is not selected already. Here it is only pointing to one record. So on the top of it, yes, you said, as you said, if you want to recognize whether the tile is fact sheet or something, this search tab is also one of the option because it is a search. When you click on, put your cursor, that is saying already, search for star in material, IN sales organization. It is also talking about what filter we applied, all those stuff.
So it means the fact sheets can have a tile because it's just contradictory to the earlier statement that fact sheets won't have a tile.
If user creates, yes. By default, no.
Okay. So the end users will have that authorization or that knowledge that he'll be able to create a tile.
This is what you have to go get KT, right, for users. So they'll ask you questions basically when you show these fact sheets. See, they say every time, do I need to come here, material, star, and all those stuff? There are a lot of materials. If I remove this filter here, there are 228. Now they will ask you a question. How do I search my own material under this 228? Is it not time taking? What is your answer now?
Yeah, I will tell him that you belong to this sales organization, so make sure you select your sales organization.
Yeah, so you have the answer. So depending on what people ask, you have to tell all those things. So next question is, okay, so you mean to say every time I have to come here, click materials, put star, then click on filter, and then I need to come to my sales org IN08. If I belong to India, I always go to IN08 only. There is no chance I go to other organizations, right here. So this entire setup I can save as a tile here. This is what I did here now. Share. When you click on share, you can tell them you can save as a tile. No need to come here every time. So share on your, put it on your my home page. From there, you can access this page every time you come here. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So you have to sit on one particular thing and then troubleshoot accordingly. Because if most of the things are there, it will be very difficult for you to troubleshoot. Focus on one item. Focus means what? When user is coming with a problem related to any fact sheet or a tile, you have to assign that role, that particular role to your test ID, log in with the test ID, and then try to troubleshoot. So that is how you can minimize the area of your research or troubleshooting. If you try to troubleshoot with all the roles assigned, it will be difficult. We don't know where the access is coming from or where the access is coming from. We never know. It is always better to search individual roles and all those stuff. So this will be very beginning only. All these problems you will face in the very beginning when you are configuring it. Once you are configured the roles, it is just you know the role, which is a role to see this material fact sheet, to see those tiles, warehouse management tiles. That is all you know in the form of a roles now. Okay. So that's one thing about fact sheets. And here one more important point about fact sheets is, if user has multiple access to fact sheets, for example, material I am in materials now. When I go to materials, and when I open any one of the item here, if I open any one record, like display single material. So this is the data about material now. We are under stock single material. And then I have material documents overview. See, the heading is changing. Earlier I was in stock material, right? I am in stock single material. Prior to that, I was in material fact sheet. So from material fact sheet, you can enter from one tile or one data into another data like this. So now I select this plant and then I click on manage stock. Now I am under manage stock. Again, I don't have any data here. So like this, you can move on from one page to another page. The links will be given inside the fact sheet. So that is one of the important point about fact sheets here I discussed. It allows you to navigate one fact sheet to all its related fact sheets. Okay, means you can jump from one fact sheet to other fact sheets. So here, if you see this particular, this is a old fact sheet, how it looks like, and this is a new fact sheet. That is what we look like here. Okay, this is what is the heading here. For example, if you see purchase order, right? The heading of this fact sheet record is purchase order. But when I go to basic data, I have something called supplier. The link is enabled. So when I click on that supplier link, I will be taken to supplier fact sheet information. And inside supplier fact sheet, I might have something material. When I click on material, it will take me to material fact sheet. Getting my point? So this is my fact sheet, initial fact sheet. So when I click on this particular link, okay, it is opening up a page. And here inside I have some other link. And when I click on this link, it will take me to some other it's again a different record. So means this is my fact sheet 1, this is my fact sheet 2, and this is my fact sheet 3. So this link is related to FS2 here, data, and this link is related to FS3 here. So means when I enter into initial fact sheet, if I have any link that is pointing to another fact sheet, when I click on that link, it will take me to that actual record of that FS2 fact sheet. And from FS2, I have another link which is called as FS3 fact sheet. So it will take me to the FS3. So that is what we are discussing about. From one fact sheet to other fact sheet, the person can jump, provided user has access to next fact sheets. So this is also one of the requirement gathering you should do. What is the requirement gathering? In FS3, suppose I have a link to some other internal fact sheet which is called as FS4. So now user says, okay, this is allowed. From fact sheet 1, I should enter into fact sheet 2. From fact sheet 2, I will enter into fact sheet 3. But fact sheet 3 is having a sublink which is called as FS4. So user says, do not enable this link. Do not enable this FS4. User should not access FS4. Only the name should be seen. He should not go to the details of FS4. So how do you access? How do you restrict that? You can restrict based on the OData services. So we don't give OData service access related to that fact sheet. And all the data, like especially mainly OData service, this is controlled through OData service. So if you are not giving OData service access for this FS4, then that FS4 will not open up and the data will not be shown to you. So you will be having 3 OData services access, FS1, FS2, FS3. But in the drop down, user should see only FS1. So when he clicks on the drop down, he will see FS1. From there, he will jump into FS2. From FS2, he can jump into FS3, and that's the restriction user is seeing. So we stop giving access to FS4 OData service. So this link will not open for the user to see. So understood, all of you? So the role which is assigned to the user here will contain s_esh_con. Under that, what value we maintain? I maintain only FS1. Okay. But coming to s_service, under this we maintain 3 OData services. The services related to FS1, FS2, FS3. So this is what the user should have under the role. So because of ESH_con, he will see only one value in the dropdown FS1, but internally he has access to OData services related to FS2 and FS3. So it will allow him to open the next sheet when I click on that particular link under FS1. All of you clear here?
Sridhar, did we give star access for this s_service in our rule? In our user account, did we give star because we were able to open all those services, links? Can you show us, for that particular user, what all services we have?
Yeah, we are able to. So here there are a lot of things. For example, I go here, plant, I click on manage stock. It is saying you are not authorized to manage stock. So it is limited where I can go. Back to material documents overview. See here. Now error is coming. I don't have data access to this. So like this, when you are preparing the document, you should say, which is the starting one? Starting one means what? So from here, suppose I go into material fact sheet. From material where you can go. You can able to access manage stock. You can able to access material document. Not more over that. something like this. So which links are enabled and all those stuff, user will face this error. Otherwise, if you do not say this to users, they will come back to you always saying, I am facing error here. You should tell them clearly, in this particular material fact sheet, you will be able to access only related tabs, only related links and tabs as per the design you have done in the role. Otherwise, what I told you, users will always come back to you saying that I am not able to access this. You are not supposed to access this because that is what the design has been done. So mostly all are related to, if you see here, these are all user is having access to. We gave in the form of T codes also, if you remember. If I go to home page, display stock in transit, stock material, all these are coming from where? User already has access to this. Display stock overview, all these things. Manage stock. So on material, he was able to do only these activities what he is already assigned with.
Manage stock OData service we have already given, I think, right?
Yes, we have given.
Then we should be able to open in that fact sheet manage stock in that under material search. We should be able to do it.
Yeah. Now, when you are facing any error, you should again troubleshoot, like what is the error is coming here. Manage stock. If OData service is assigned, but still why the user is facing problem, you are not authorized to manage stock. So let us check in the authorization data. So it is giving some functional object if you see here. So unless until we give this particular access, it will not allow. So it is missing access in the backend, not the OData service. Here we have one OData service, but that is not related to material. So this is what we should check. So this is what actually, this is all done in the initial phases when we are implementing it. So we have very limited values here. If you see the drop down, not like unlimited values. So what values to be visible to the user, and for each and everything, whatever you are enabling for banks. So when I go into banks, cost centers, this is all not enabled. Material documents. So once this screen is coming from material, which is the second link you should enable. So then from that second link, what is the third link you should be enabled? Okay, one more thing is, within one fact sheet, you can have multiple other fact sheet links enabled inside. It is giving to other fact sheets also. Sometimes it is also possible. I have FS5 here, FS6, FS7. So when user is opening fact sheet 1, this fact sheet 1 can take me to fact sheet 2, 5, 6, and 7. So user says, I want this and this. Only these two fact sheets. User should go to fact sheet 2 and fact sheet 5. User should not enter into fact sheet 6 and fact sheet 7. Means he should not take to the record should not open to him. So now you know what you need to do. In the drop down, we maintain FS1, but in the S service, he will have access to all the backend authorizations related to FS2 and FS5, including the OData services. So this is what you have to take it from the client. So which are enabled from FS1 green, these two are enabled. And for FS2, FS3 is enabled. And here it is not enabled. So you should not go into FS4. So once you implement one fact sheet, it will be easy for you to take it up. The remaining all will be the same category. So now if you go back to the fact sheet again, fact sheet is a search mechanism. Only catalog will be available for the fact sheets, no group concept. Related search connector must be activated by basis team. Okay, so this I told you, the search connector, they will have to go and check in this program, ESH_test_search. Means if you're not getting the data in the fact sheet, like this, like what we see in other types, for banks, I'm not getting data. Okay, one of the reason could be the search connector is not activated. What do you mean by search connector? So for every this value I told you, right, here, the ESH con, that's the search connector value. So here object type, connector ID. So in object type, you can give that material related information. Material star execute. So if you are getting data here related to material, so here you can see material H is coming, material documents is coming. Here, if you are able to see the data here, then it should be visible to you in the Fiori also. But if the data itself is not coming here, then there is a problem in the search connector. So you should highlight to basis team here. So here you should get data when you search by that material name or something. This is called a search connector, material_H, material document H. That search connector has to be enabled. Otherwise, you may not see the data in actual your Fiori Launchpad. Clear this statement, all of you? For fact sheets related stuff, just check the target mappings only, no tiles. We don't have tiles in the catalog. Important authorization objects are ESH_con, ESH_cat, should be assigned in ECC if it is hub model. Okay, this note important. If it is a hub model, the backend system should have it, not the front-end system. The Fiori system need not it. We need to control it from the backend system. And HANA database would be mandatory for this because large data would be searching. The system has to search large number of data, amount of data. And okay, these are other important points. Web dispatcher concept will be coming into picture if it is hub model. So this web dispatcher method is not required in the embedded model again. So web dispatcher means again it is like a connectivity stuff that has to be taken care by the basis team. Okay.
Sridhar, one question.
Yeah.
In Fiori apps reference library, we get to see a particular OData service name, role name, catalog name. Okay, so when Fiori developer does the customization, okay, so do they customize the names of OData services as well?
Yes, they will definitely. That's what I'm telling you. Only when it is standard app only, Fiori apps library will be helpful to you. If it is a totally custom app, a custom tile, the custom tile
No,
should
standard.
have catalog, custom, custom. What?
No, I'm saying suppose it's a standard app that we are looking to access and it's a managed stock. Okay. So we go into Fiori apps library.
Then you have all the
okay,
information available. You have all the information
Correct.
in Fiori apps library.
Right. So they mention the SAP role name which starts with SAP something. They mention the catalog name which starts again with SAP something. Okay. And they mention the OData services also. That OData service name starts with something. So
Yes.
obviously, in 99% of the projects, we don't use those roles and those as it is, right? We do the
Correct.
customization. Put this role name as Z or something. So whatever catalogs, catalogs or groups or OData service come into picture with the standard application I'm talking. So does this Fiori developer provide the customized names of the catalog, customized names of the OData service as well?
If they create customized, yes, they have to provide us. If they are not
So
creating and using the standard ones, no need, right? We already have the data in the Fiori apps library.
Okay. So basically we can have customized role names. Okay, whatever role has been provided, we can make them customized roles. Okay, we can just change them with Z underscore something, whatever it is, and put the standard names of catalogs and OData service. Right? That is also a choice.
What did I do actually? What did I show you? Did I create any custom tiles? I created a custom role, right?
Right.
In the custom role, I have added standard catalog as well as custom catalog also I have shown you.
Right. So my question was regarding this, is this the case going to be repeated? So I just wanted to know how about these OData services? So OData service also we use the standard ones, right?
Yes, I'm saying if
It
they
is
are
available
using
into the Fiori apps library.
Okay. If we decided to use standard OData services, you have to check in the role whether that OData service is available or not. If they have customized the OData service, then you should look for custom OData service in the role. That data service name should be given by the developer who developed it. Because we cannot know, right, if it is customized.
Sridhar, do we have any able to find all those from SAP itself? Can we find? Is there any table to find that what are we talking about? OData services.
OData services, I have already given your table last time. USOBH. It contains all the services available in the system.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Check the table once. So I told you in the last class, you have to prepare the document. Like what type of document? Maintaining all the data related to every type. If this document is not there, it will be very difficult for you to report. So maybe you can make it your own document or you can make it a public document. If such data is not available with you, for every tile or every app we are developing, what is that name? What is the OData service name? If a group is there, what is the group name? What is the role name? If it is a hub model, what is the front end role? What is the back end role? All this information should be available with you. If this is not available, then it is very difficult for you. Okay. So that's all with the class now. Any questions finally before we close sessions?
Sridhar, I have one doubt. Actually, in the Fiori apps library, we have seen what is business catalog and catalogs and everything, but there is something called as a business rule. So what does that business role have? Actually, is it the transactional data or is it the catalogs or something like that?
Suppose I don't want to create any custom roles, custom catalogs. I don't want to do any customization. Just I want to use standard what is available. So then go and assign the business role. You look into that business role, open that business role and check it. What you have inside. I have shown you already a lot of roles. We have discussed this. I have shown you the business role also. So you go back to system, open that business role and see what is inside.
Okay.
When you are assigning standard roles, you don't have a control which user is getting what apps. You don't know how many apps will access also will come. So you want that? Any more questions? Okay, right then. Thanks all of you. So I think I have already given you the group, right? Did I give you all of you the bigger group? So this group would be decommissioned slowly, whatever the class group we have. I will ping you a group name. If you are not part of that group, only join, otherwise don't join in that again and again. Okay. So you can post their questions, your questions, if you have questions there. Don't share this link with others, only for you people who are part of our class. Most of you are already there in other groups. So no need to join if you are already any part of any other groups. Only if you are not part of any other group, please join here. Okay. Right then. So if you have any questions also, you can WhatsApp me. I'll give you a solution. If not me, at least you can post in the group also. Somebody else also will reply you. Those who are familiar with the concepts. Right. So thanks everyone for joining. So be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.